tuning in to the Eggman Empire. Authorization approved. Access granted.
What's happening, degenerates and boys? My name is KotyTang. The new alternate ending to Frontiers is out, and because the original ending was already pretty lackluster, the third update planned to address that, now giving us the ability to play as Sonic's 3 friends, and, let's dive into it and see if this is the ending we so deserved. Sonic, having climbed the 6 towers that gave him an extremely brief and underwhelming history of the Ancients, leading to their fate against a yet unseen force that's been violently harassing them for so long, Sonic becomes fully cyber-corrupted, and his 3 friends, including Eggman and Sage, witness this event unfold. Sonic's friends cure him of his cyber-corruption by sacrificing their bodies to whatever ether they went to. And through the power of friendship, Sonic is saved. His cyber-corruption gone. He thanks his friends for their sacrifice, claiming he won't let them down. Sage convinces Eggman to allow her to simulate a scenario where Sonic helps them. Eggman, having agreed to help Sonic, requests that Sage doesn't help Sonic in finding the Chaos Emeralds, but instead himself. And so the race between Sonic and Eggman is on. So we finally arrive at the start of the update. I guess Sonic finds a ring portal that he jumps into? This is not explained and comes literally out of nowhere. Is Sonic in a new dimension now? Was that purely for visual aesthetic? What's the actual deal with that? Sonic dashes down Orano's island, ready to nab the emeralds and free his friends from cyberspace. Suddenly, Eggman shouts at Sonic to stop, and Sage suggests one other scenario to consider, bringing up that literally moments ago, Sonic's friends deleted themselves to remind anybody who hasn't been playing the game where we're at. But anybody who has been playing the game will just be like, wait, what? So now that Sonic's friends just sacrificed themselves not even 2 minutes ago, Sage brings up one more calculation that she didn't consider because it was so unlikely to work. The first calculation being, Sonic helping Eggman, and now this one literally being Sonic and all of his friends helping by Sage restoring their bodies so that they can search for the Chaos Emeralds, while Sage literally stabilizes Sonic's cyber corruption and then guides him on how to turn his cyber corruption into an even greater power. Okay. First of all, how in the hell was that less likely to work than just having Sonic help Eggman? Second of all, Sage can just bring back Sonic's friends? Third of all, Sage can control the cyber corruption? And fourth, Sage knows that there's a way to turn cyber corruption into power? What the hell are you talking about? How did Sage think that any of that was less likely to work than just Sonic helping? Hello? So, Sage revives Sonic's friends, returning Sonic's cyber corruption to him, which Sage maintains. Sonic relays the plans to his friends, and they're off to find the Chaos Emeralds, where many shenanigans ensue, as several trials have to be completed in order for Sonic's friends to actually retrieve the emeralds. Meanwhile, Sonic needs to climb up 5 more towers, which look eerily similar to the first 6 towers, but now do something else for some reason. That something else is allow Sonic to directly interact with the pilots of the Titans. As it turns out, these towers are actually memorials to the pilots who sacrificed themselves. And one of them is also the king of the Ancients, but we'll get to that a bit later. Sage tells Sonic that by completing their trials, he will be able to control his cyber corruption. For the first time, we get to see Sonic actually interact with the pilots of the Titans, and boy are these dudes tall! Sonic meets each Titan in the order of their defeat, with the first 2 chastising Sonic for killing their Titans and shutting off the 6 seals trapping the End in cyberspace. After completing the first two pilots' trials, they finally see that Sonic is actually trying to defeat the End. The other two pilots, the Knights and the Supremes, simply wish to understand Sonic and his motivations. Oh, this is also where Sonic discovers that there's a fourth Titan. He's just like,
guess there's a surprise fourth Titan after all.
Even though he should have already caught that from his vision, which he also directly references in this conversation.
You lost to the enemy when you sealed it in your Titan.
So the fact that Sonic is surprised that there's a fourth Titan, sure. He thanks Sonic for unsealing his friends from their Titans, and he grants the final blessing to control the cyber corruption. And with that, Sonic has gained the ability to control cyber corruption. However, he still needs somebody who can change that control into a new power. Also, a confetti image of the End keeps roaring in the background, corrupting everything around the Starfall Islands, but we don't really see that corruption, so it doesn't matter. While Sonic's friends are gaining the Chaos Emeralds, they themselves start being cyber corrupted. Although, thankfully, just like Sonic, they refuse to just take it lying down and fight through the pain. Although, unlike Sonic, they aren't able to do anything strenuous like, battling Titans, because Sonic just relishes in the plot armor and is invincible. Sonic arrives on the top of the 5th tower and comes face to face with Master King, the leader of the Ancients, and the one who orchestrated every strategy against the End. Sonic, after much sass,
and now you're a rock in a chair,
demands that the Master King agrees to temper Sonic's cyber corruption into a new power for him, because the King can just do that, I guess? So the King does just that, and he makes Sonic a new form. The only problem with Sonic's new power is that it wasn't exactly made for him. It's just been synchronized to his form. If Sonic gets too reckless, the power will simply leave him, so he says. And with that, Master King leaves the preservation of his people to Sonic. Sonic reunites with his friends, who give him the Chaos Emeralds, with Eggman once again giving the last one by himself because he didn't want to help anybody. And then, without proper animation or build-up, Sonic just kinda pops into Supersonic. Just like in the original ending, Sonic fights and defeats the Supreme Titan. Only this time, the End just kind of comes out of nowhere and then connects a little noodle to the back of the Supreme's neck. And then, for some reason, the Supreme grows a bunch of arms out of its back. Sonic is unable to do any damage to the Supreme until he goes Cyber Kaioken. Just when it looks like Sonic has won, the Supreme launches an onslaught of lasers, forcing Sage to use a shield to protect Eggman. It almost breaks, but thanks to Sonic's friends magically having Sage's powers, they're able to bolster the shield enough to keep a small area safe. Sonic takes a revenge death ball to his face and is knocked out of his super form. The Chaos Emeralds decide that they aren't going to leave Sonic for some reason, and he returns to Supersonic Kaioken. So now, after once again defeating the Supreme Titan, Sonic enters the detached gun of the Titan and decides that he's going to use the cyber corruption power to its fullest, just as he was told not to do by Master King. Sonic fires himself directly at the End, smashing directly through them, and that's it. Sonic blows up the End. He won! For the first time, Sonic looks absolutely destroyed by this event. He falls back to Earth, detransitioning from Supersonic, and ends up miraculously unharmed from the velocity of his fall. He gets up as if nothing happened, and his friends share a happy moment together. We flash over to Eggman and Sage looking on at the meteor shower, and now the fully alive digital daughter of Eggman, who's completely gone white and blue for some reason for this story, agrees to head back to what Eggman calls home. Is she like a good guy now? So, there's just something I gotta say first. Make sure to finger that like button, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to leave a comment below. Now back to the video. Let's talk about it. In the original ending, it's only Sonic who gathers the Chaos Emeralds by himself. Sonic's friends in the limbo of cyberspace, they just magically return after the battle for whatever reason. In the update, Sage is the one who returns their bodies, and they now help Sonic gain the Chaos Emeralds. It's a great change that comes completely out of nowhere and is so obviously pulled out of the writer's asses that there's no way you can believe this was always something that Sage could do. Even the reasoning fails to make any sense. Why would a battle among all of Sonic's friends and a free, explosively powerful new form be less likely to work than just Sonic fighting the end in his super form? While I absolutely love the fact that they gave actual validation to just what purpose Tails, Knuckles, and Amy serve in being in the story at all, it still feels so out of left field. Sonic's friends save him from cyber corruption, and then after fully agreeing that Sonic needs to avenge his friends and not let their sacrifices go in vain, Sage and Eggman are just like, no, wait, scratch that. Let's do this instead. What? Bro, that entire scene was unnecessary then. The sacrifice of Sonic's friends and then their return literally happened directly after each other. Nothing changed. They just randomly decided to go with a different plan. In the original ending, Eggman was reluctant to even give Sonic the Chaos Emerald. In the update, Eggman is like, screw it, just kill whatever's attacking us. And I like that change. It's much better than their awkward encounter before. Here it makes sense that Eggman, even through his arrogance, fully understands that they're in a dire situation, and the realization of that fits him so much better than him being a whiny, pissy baby about helping Sonic. Eggman has never had a problem in the past when it came to understanding the greater cause, so why now? But here's the largest change that completely breaks the pacing of the story because of how insanely rushed it is. Originally, when Sonic defeats the Supreme, the Titan lingers on its knees, and Sonic questions if he's successfully defeated them. Sage immediately realizes that something's not right, stating that the end was merely chased out of its shell, and its power will be so great that not even Super Sonic will be able to defeat it alone. So, after a farewell to Eggman, Sage pilots the Supreme herself before still seeing that they're not doing enough, and she goes full World War II on the end, blowing herself up in a fiery blaze of glory. But now, in the update, after Sonic defeats the Supreme Titan, the end just magically pops into existence, and it's just like, hey guys, I'm a freaking move! And Sonic just fights a hyper-powered down version of the Supreme, doesn't interact with the end in any way, there's no banter, no taunting, no dramatic entrance, and then Sonic just blows the end up, and he wins. Roll credits. In the original ending, Eggman's depression was on full display as he came to accept that he just lost his daughter. Well, not really, because he gets her back 5 minutes later, but still, it's better than Sage just standing on the sidelines as Sonic anime powers through what is supposed to be the most inconceivably powerful being to ever exist. And then after the fight, just be like, let's go home, daddy, as the writers pretend that her character fully fulfilled her character development for some reason. After finishing that update, I'm just like, really? All this hype and build up for an ending that isn't even climactic? One that doesn't even attempt to be slightly epic? This feels like a first draft of the ending that got scrapped, and they just now decided to use it without updating any part of it past throwing in Tails, Knuckles, and Amy. Where's the drama? Where's the introduction to the end? Why does Sage just suddenly fully become white and blue? Where's all of the character buildup? Where's all of the pacing required for an actual finale? How can anybody look at this story and think that this is better than the one we already had? You know, it feels like I just watched a dumpster fire fan fiction come to life on the big screen. It's like somebody really hammered in and hyped up how incredible the story should be, and then proceeded to deliver the most ass-pull plot of the century with every headcanon imaginable just to make Sonic turn into a ripoff of Hypersonic and Kaioken to fulfill some jerk-off fantasy that they've always had. So yeah, that update sucked, and it made the story infinitely worse. What do you guys think? Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, follow me on X, okay, bye!